Machine Master Hunters.
The water's cold.
It's a fjord. You're not going swimming.
Boo. You're such a wet blanket, teddy bear.
You know I don't like it when you call me...
Edward Charles Hardin, Esquire.
Will you promise to behave on land?
Don't I always?
Lissy, promise.
Oh, piffle and phonus balonus, Teddy. You ought to know better than to ask. Yes, I'll behave. I'll be a proper young lady. I shan't run or climb things or laugh too loud or call anyone old bean. Aside from you. So, do you think we'll find your Betty in, what did you call this village? Gravewick? Gravewick? Greywoke? It's an odd language. I don't much care for it. Perhaps Betty found herself a burly Viking warrior and went native. Put horns on her hat, drinks mead out of a chair.
She's there.
How can you know for sure?
She's my sister.
But how can you know?
I just do. In her letter, she wrote about...
But that's months ago. She could have gone anywhere.
Without writing, or telegraphing her editor in New York, she wouldn't do that. Betty's...
Oh, the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees, Little Miss Perfect.
Alice, you're talking about my sister.
Fine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth Siddar. We all love her dearly. And Teddy Bear, Edward, we will find her. Betty's fine. Why, we'll see her as soon as we get to shore. She'll shower you with kisses and berate you for coming all this way from Hanover, Massachusetts to the middle of absolutely nowhere Scandinavia way just to chase
Norway.
her down. Everything will be Jake, old fruit. Is that it? Is that Groovewoke? It looks so peaceful and beautiful and so desolate, like a place built for ghosts.
Finally. I don't think I could do this for much longer.
Can't you row any faster? I'm getting frightfully bored.
How about you take over, Alice?
You slay me, Teddy, old bean. Was that thunder?
Still distant. The boat will be in safe harbor by the time the weather arrives.
So you say. But I say put your back into it, because we're sitting ducks out here. Quack, quack. It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
Probably working. I know it's a foreign concept to you, but that's something normal people do.
Hardy har har.
The Fretland farm is up the hill somewhere.
Up where? Where's the farm?
I believe it's that farmhouse, all the way at the top.
Hot dog! Let's ankle!
Hold on. Let me read the letter from Mrs. Fretland first.
I'll meet you up there, old sport. I want to explore. Last one's a skunk's tail. Ready?
Wait. The ground's muddy. It's easy to slip and fall. Walk slowly and watch out for...
Don't be a wet blanket. A little mud never hurt anyone.
Fine. Just stay close.
As long as you keep up with me.
Dear Mr. Hardin, we would like to extend an invitation to visit our home. Troubled to hear of your sister's disappearance. No news to share. You'll find our farm on top of the hill. I hope I got that right. Look forward to seeing you here in October. Yours faithfully, Anna Fretland. Well, I'm here. Where are you? Did you make it to Graavik, Betty? And why did you pick this forlorn hole under the mountains. Also sprach Zarathustra.
Teddy, are you coming? I'm almost there.
On my way. Righto. Step to it, teddy bear. Alice?
I'm up at the farm.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm by the farmhouse. Are you coming?
Just taking a break.
Hurry up. Storm's getting closer.
Alice!
I'm waiting for you at the farm.
Lissy?
I'm waiting for you at the farm.
Lissy?
I'm by the farmhouse.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm up at the farm. Edward Charles Hart, I'm waiting for you.
Lissy!
I'm up at the farm.
Alice!
I'm by the farmhouse.
Lissy?
I'm waiting for you at the farm.
Alice.
What is it?
Seriously?
You're not the one carrying a suitcase. Lissy.
I'm right here.
Lissy.
No need to shout.
Lissy.
Yeah?
Are you here, Lissy?
Yes?
Lissy. Nothing.
What took you so long?
I'm not 17.
Nor are you 70. Put some spring into your step, old sport.
Did you see the flag? It's at half-mast. Someone died.
So this is it, huh? Nice digs. But seriously, where is everyone? This is starting to creep me out. They must be somewhere. They can't all have vanished.
Up in the mountains, maybe.
Herding goats? Are they goat herders? I took them more for fisher folk.
Rain's picking up. We should get indoors.
You first, old bean. What are you waiting for? Go on. Don't be shy.
Hello? Anyone there? Mr. Fretland? Mrs. Fretland? This is Edward Charles Harden, the American. We've exchanged letters.
Maybe they went on holiday and left the door open. Give it a shake and a rattle.
I can't just barge into their home.
It's not a crime if you're invited.
I'm coming in. This is Mr. Harden. Hello? Is anyone home?
This house is as empty as a bird's nest in December. Oh, this is nice. Charmingly rustic. The Boston Beaumont would pay a pretty penny for this setup. I thought foreigners lived differently. This is almost like an American home.
People are people wherever you go.
Thanks, Proust. Look! Family pictures. They must be the, what did you call them?
The Fretlands.
Right. Anna and John?
Johann.
This is honestly not what I'd pictured. They're very presentable. Not at all like turnip farmers.
They're not turnip farmers. That must be Johann Fretland, master of the house.
What makes you think he's the master of anything? It's 1923, Teddy, old boy. Women can vote.
Betty might be with the Fretlands, wherever they are.
Wouldn't Anna Fretland have written you?
She might have. We left Hanover a month ago.
I'm guessing their daughter is the master of this house. She's cute as a button. I can't wait to meet her. She's guaranteed to be more fun than you. Old Johann's a bit wooden, isn't he? Like someone put a stick
They're
up his...
posing for a
up his
photograph.
rear end. I say, loosen up, Johann! I'm sure you two stiffs will get along famously. Johann went and found himself a delectable bride.
Alice, please.
What can I say? She's a minx.
Anna Fretland is a respectable woman. Her letter was courteous and professional.
Didn't you say she was a city girl? Must have been awfully hard to adjust to life in the sticks. I can relate.
Hanover isn't the sticks.
Says you.
The flag outside was flying at half-mast.
What does that mean?
Someone died. The books are all in English.
Isn't that a bit odd?
Mrs. Fretland is Scottish, though she grew up in Aalesund.
Have you been secretly communicating with Johann's winsome wife, Edward dearest?
Certainly not. She was the one who wrote me, because Mr. Fretland's English
I was
isn't
only joking. Lighten up, old sport. Don't be such a pill. Wait, is that... Are they... Who's... They're all twins. All of them.
That's Johann and Anna Fretland.
There are two of each, Edward. Two of each.
Frederick and Margaret. Twins marrying twins.
My mind's reeling. This is just too adorable.
May 26th, 1899. We'll be celebrating their silver anniversary next year. It'll get dark soon.
Where will you sleep? There must be a guest bedroom.
I'm not using their beds without invitation.
We can disguise ourselves as bedwear. They'll never know we're here.
Dear Mrs. Fretland, I trust this letter finds you and your husband in good health. I wrote to inform them about when I'd be arriving. I asked about Elizabeth.
And they hadn't seen her?
Anna... Mrs. Fretland promised she'd write if she heard anything. There wouldn't be many female reporters from New York and Western Norway.
Why would she come here in the first place?
Betty always has her reasons. Home feels very far away.
Are we feeling melancholy again?
I've never been this far from Hanover.
It's about time we got you out of that dreary old house, Teddy Bear.
Oh, the thought of boarding that infernal ocean liner again.
I quite enjoyed it. So much room for exploration and mischief.
So many opportunities for seasickness and claustrophobia.
Don't be a Debbie Downer. I'm sure your tummy will be better behaved on the return voyage. And you'll be craving enclosed spaces after a week in this wide open wilderness. Where do you think they've gone?
The Fretlands.
The Fretlands, the Hansons, the Jensens, all of them.
I'm sure they'll be back soon.
It's like a dead land. As though its soul has departed.
It's really coming down.
How about a quick run in the rain?
You can't be serious.
You're already a wet blanket, teddy bear. It's not like you'll get any wetter.
You can see the whole village from up here.
Do you want to go sightseeing?
Tomorrow. It's getting late, and the rain's not abating. Johann Fretland exits Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
So the brothers parted ways?
Johann sold his share to focus on farming.
Well, that must have put a damper on their relationship.
Tragic accident befalls the Fretland Brothers Mining Company.
What happened?
The mine collapsed, killing 3 workers, including Arne Fretland, Frederick and Johann's younger brother.
That's awful. How old was he?
19. Operations were suspended after the accident. Foreign investors out of Frederick Fretland's mining company. Dire financial consequences for Fretland, who must have had a difficult time after his brother Johann Fretland pulled out earlier this year.
Johann was smart to exit when he did.
The timing is curious, like he knew something was about to go awry.
Oof, that's a grim sight, old bean.
I'm exhausted and soaked to the bone.
Let's get you to bed.
We'll wait for the Fretlands. It's only courteous. Betty.
Have you gone screwy again, Teddy? That's not Betty.
Her
That's...
scarf. I'd know it anywhere.
It doesn't look like anything to me. It
She
just
bought it in
looks like...
Bloomingdale's the Christmas before last. When she came home that year, she showed it off, dancing around the sitting room until I got dizzy watching her.
I think you're misremembering. She couldn't make it home that year. Again.
No, You're wrong. I'm sure she was there.
Whatever. It's not like you pay any attention to me when Betty's around. I might just as well be a ghost.
Look, it is her scarf. It even smells like her perfume. Shalimar.
But what if that's not...
She's here. I'm finally going to find her.
That's great, Edward, really. I wouldn't want you to get your hopes up. I mean, where's everyone gone to? Something's not right, I'm telling you. Teddy? Edward, what's wrong?
Lightheaded, that's all.
You're having another spell. You know what happens when you exert yourself. Sit down. That's an order from your commander.
Yes. I just need to catch my breath. Just for a moment.
I want you to lie down. Lie down and close your eyes. It's been a strenuous day. What with the rowing and the dragging of the suitcase up the hill.
Well, what if the Fretland...
I'll keep an eye out. I promise. If they come home, I'll wake you. Now, lie down. Close your eyes. breathe deeply.
I'm just going to...
Shh.
Elizabeth? Is that you? Betty? Lissy? Lissy, are you here? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Hello? Hey, who's there? Betty? Elizabeth? Wait! Lissy, there's someone outside. It might be Betty. Are you here, Lissy? Are you in here, Lissy? Where are you? Lissy, are you upstairs? Who's out there? Hello? Betty? Lissy? I'm not alone. Betty? I can hear you! Alice! Alice, where are you? Are you out there, Betty? Can you hear me? Who goes there? Wait! Where are you? Elizabeth! Lissy? Someone there? Betty? Alice! Alice, where are you? Hello? Betty, is that you? Can you hear me? Are you there, Betty? Shit. Elizabeth, are you there? Where are you?
The boat, Edward! Where's our boat?
Lissy. Where did you go? Why did you leave me?
It stopped raining and you were sleeping, and Our boat, it's gone.
The boat... What? How?
Maybe you didn't secure it properly.
I pulled it up. I don't know. I thought I tied it securely, but... Did you see Betty?
Did I see... What are you talking about?
I think... Betty... It was Betty. It was her. It must have been her. I saw her face in the window, and she vanished into the dark, towards the sea. You really didn't see anyone?
I haven't seen a single soul. Are you sure it was her? And
Yes!
Not...
I mean, I saw her face, and it looked like her.
Well, if it was her, why did she run away?
I don't know. It's getting dark. Back to the house. Then tomorrow.
Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure it out. Right now, let's get you cleaned up. Look at you. You've got mud all over yourself. And then you really need to sleep. You must be exhausted. Come on.
I will find you again. Where are you, Lissy?
Teddy! Teddy, come outside! It's a beautiful day!
Alice?
I'm right outside!
Where are you?
I'm outside!
Lissy!
Outside, Teddy!
I just about given up on you ever waking up. Sleep well?
I dreamed of Betty. She was in the garden, and she called for me.
How about you, Lissy dearest? Oh, you know me, old fruit, wide awake at first light.
The Fretlands didn't come home, did they?
They did not. There's no sign of anyone. Aside from last night's Mistwalker.
I've been thinking about that. It was dark. Maybe I just saw a shadow.
Chasing a shadow. That's very unlike you, old boy. Usually you scurry off in the opposite direction.
I didn't get a good look. I'm not even sure there was anyone there.
Oh, there must be someone here. And I'm not talking about ghosts. Or goats. What was it you said yesterday? Maybe they're looking down on us from the mountaintops.
I'll take a gander. The Fretlands will be home soon. And Betty's here. I know it. I feel it.
If you say so, teddy bear. Have you had your noodle juice yet?
I'm not rummaging through their cupboards.
You'll be a pill without your tea and toast, old bean. We need to get you sorted.
I'm not hungry. First point on the agenda. Find the natives.
A mission! Hot dog! I'll scout ahead. I'll meet you down by those houses.
Let's uncover your secrets, Graavik. Where are you, Lissy?
Right by the village houses!
Alice!
I'm by the village houses!
Lissy?
Hello. Up here, Teddy. It's such a beautiful day. You could bottle and sell this air in Boston. It's frankly medicinal.
It's chilly.
That's all you have to say? It's chilly?
You're not cold.
Why would I be?
I thought you were scouting ahead.
What do you think I'm doing? Vantage point, like on a pirate ship. I can probably see our house in Hanover from here.
Did you check those buildings?
Knocking on doors isn't a scout's job, old bean.
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
Lissy, are you here?
Yeah?
Hello? Anyone here?
Why, hello, Mr. American. Please come in for a cup of tea and biscuits. No one home?
Hello? Who's there? Hello? Anyone home? Are you here, Lissy?
What is it?
Lissy, are you here?
Hello.
September 21st, 1923. Vi desperata. Lissy, found something here. Escalated from words to stones. Blood has been spilled. The curse haunts us all. There is no hope left in... Good Sforlata. Good. God. Right. In this God-forsaken place. The death of the... Jiminy. Death of the children was the end of Graavik. Whatever remained of our souls departed with them. You should see this, Lissy. The letter just trails off. It was never sent. Lissy.
No need to shout.
Did you see this door closing?
It was just the wind, teddy bear. You're as skittish as a pussycat. There's one more house. Third time's the charm.
There must be someone around.
Only one way to find out, old sport. Did you check all the houses?
Anyone home?
Unless they're playing hide and go seek, I'd say that's a no. 3 strikes, you're out.
I don't think anyone's been home for a while. Someone painted the word traitor on one of the doors. And there was a letter. It sounded foreboding.
Still think everyone's up in the mountains, herding goats?
I saw some sheds down by the water. There's the general store, the church.
In other words, time for some sightseeing? Well, it's a bright and beautiful day, and we have nothing better to do.
What on earth are you doing?
Handstands, Teddy! My record is 2 minutes. I'm working on 3. Just go on ahead. I'll catch up.
Lissy, are you here?
Yes?
Are you here, Lissy?
I'm right here.
Lissy!
Over here, Teddy!
How about we don't go back to Hanover and stay here instead?
And how would I survive?
Hunt? Harvest? Forage? People have survived here for centuries. Why can't we?
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I could learn. I'd start with goats. Goats can be eaten and milked. Probably not in that order.
Applesauce.
Why lock any doors? I can't imagine they have a problem with punks and hoodlums.
The sign says they're closed, but I thought maybe... Hello? Are you open? Is anyone there?
Kate?
Fretland and Son.
How do you figure?
It's on the sign above the entrance. And on this photograph. Frederick and Simon Fretland. The older gentleman is clearly Mr. Fretland's twin brother.
Twins are confusing. If this was a dime novel, they'd be switching places at some point to confuse the coppers. Damn you, twins!
Simon Fretland. Frederick's son.
And Johan's nephew. See, I'm getting the hang of this.
Betty would have taken plenty of constitutionals here. She loves the outdoors.
How so? She's a city girl.
I'm sure she gets tired of Manhattan. And when she was little, she loved playing in the garden back in Hanover, especially around the pond.
Are you alright?
I just miss her.
Frederick Fretland and Son.
Johan's brother and nephew.
The Fretlands have their fingers in all the pies, including the only store in town.
Also the post office and telegraph. There may be something that'll lead us to Betty in there.
Or at least to some canned sardines. We need to get you fed, old bean.
You'd have thought someone would have seen us by now.
Even from up in the mountains. Maybe there was a spell or curse that made them all invisible.
Honestly, Lissy.
Or maybe we are the invisible ones. But then we would see them, wouldn't we? No, I think my original thesis is more likely.
The villagers turning invisible is the more likely thesis.
Do try to keep an open mind, Edward, darling.
They had a memorial service for the accident in the mine. On July 24th, in the village church.
For something that happened 20 years ago?
It still affected their lives. Lissy.
Hello.
There's no damage to the rope.
I don't know what that means.
Nobody cut it. I guess the knot could have unraveled on its own.
Didn't you say you used a sailor's knot?
I'm a scholar, not a fisherman.
So who took our boat? A ghost? If not a ghost, then a goat? The goat's row? Maybe the boat...
It was probably the current that took our boat.
If you say so. But then who were you chasing after last night? A shadow?
I don't know. It was probably all in my head. The weather is favorable today.
I did a little dance last night, appeasing the weather gods. Thor, in particular, was mightily impressed.
Was he?
Promised to back off with the thunder and lightning for a spell. And don't you know, he proposed to me. But I told him I'm not into gods. I prefer jazz musicians.
It's quite peaceful.
If no one was around, I'd strip naked. The earth would delight in my bare feet. The wind would savor playing with my hair.
Is that so?
I don't know, I just like being naked. But not when you're around, Teddy Bear.
What are you up to?
Delighting in the little things. They're like dew. My heart is the morning, and it's refreshed by their presence.
Where do these strange thoughts come from?
Oh, you're a funny egg, old bean.
What are you doing?
Looking for a white rabbit in a waistcoat. Have you seen him?
A white
We'll follow him down the hole, Teddy. Or maybe we already did.
Alice in Wonderland, I see.
So wonderfully apt.
Perhaps living here wouldn't be such a bad thing.
You changed your mind about the goats?
Fresh air might do me good.
You'd be all right with it just being the two of us.
I'm no stranger to isolation.
Truer words have never been spoken, old friend.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Alice,
I'm right here.
Alice.
What is it?
Lissy?
Down in the village.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm down in the village.
Lissy!
I'm down in the village, Teddy.
Alice?
I'm down in the village, Teddy.
Alice!
I'm down in the village.
Where are you, Lissy?
Down in the village.
July 24th. Memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that.
Where are you?
I'm down in the village.
All these graves. What happened?
It's a cemetery.
But look at the soil. These are recent burials.
You're right.
Do you think this is where everyone's gone? Are they all dead?
How many graves are there?
Not enough, I guess. How many people lived here?
I'm not sure. Also, someone must have buried them.
There's that.
Something did happen. Several people died in a short period of time.
How? An accident? A mass murder? Spanish flu?
I wouldn't want to speculate until I've learned more.
I can speculate for the both of us.
Well, Betty's not here. I'm gonna keep looking.
What about the church?
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Why would they board up a church?
To keep the ghosts from escaping?
Lissy.
Or the goats from getting in? What does that say?
God is not here. Lissy, are you here?
Yeah?
Lissy,
Yes?
have you seen...
Well, so much for that. No wedding, no baptism, no funeral.
There must be people somewhere. Where are you going?
For constitutional. To breathe some of this salty sea air. You go on ahead. I'll find you.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Lissy?
Up at the church.
Where are you?
I'm up at the church.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm up at the church, Teddy.
Where are you?
I'm up at the church.
Lissy!
Up at the church.
Lissy!
I'm up at the church, Teddy.
Lissy!
I'm up at the church, Teddy.
Where are you, Lissy?
Up at the church.
Alice!
I'm up at the church.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm up at the church, Teddy.
Lissy?
No need to shout.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Lissy!
I'm up at the church.
Lissy!
Up at the church.
Alice!
I'm up at the church, Teddy.
What if everyone turned into a pebble? And they can't speak, but they see and feel everything that happens to them.
There's something very wrong with your head.
Wouldn't that just be awful? Why, I'd be a murderer. What's this?
Remnants of the mining operation.
What, mine?
There was a mine here, but it closed down 20 years ago.
I was just checking for a sense of humor. Still nowhere to be found.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead.
Have you seen anyone?
Not a single soul, alive or dead. Where do these tracks lead?
To the mine. Where else would they go?
I don't know. A castle up in the mountains, where the frost giants live. And this is how they receive their monthly offering of meat from the villagers. Goat, I hope. I don't understand why they just leave this here. Like an altar to adversity. It's creepy.
Rustic superstition. Perhaps they believed they'd attract bad luck if they moved it. Till Min Om. It's a memorial. 3 men died when the mine collapsed in 1902. Georg Hatlestad, Niels Framberg, Arne Fretland.
See, this is what working a regular job. Did you say Fretland?
The younger brother who was mentioned in the article. He was just 19.
How long had he been working in the mine? That's too young for a dirty job like digging into rock.
We're in the real world, Lissy. Most teeners don't have the luxury to idle away their days with games and witty repartee.
Ouch. What did they use this for?
Bringing the ore down from the mine before it was loaded onto boats.
So, diamonds? Gold? Or just boring old silver?
Iron ore.
Or what?
Rock, which contains iron
I know.
deposits that...
Okay, Edward.
No trespassing for traitors.
Cool. Want to jump the gate and explore what's on the other side? What do you say, old sport? Teddy? Hello?
It's not safe.
Oh, horse feathers! You may be the most boring man in this country. Where's your sense of adventure, old sport? Don't you want to see where these tracks go?
I've had enough adventure on this side of the fence. Besides, they wrote no trespassing for a reason.
You're such a terrible bore, Teddy Bear. I'll wager 1,000 clams you'll jump this gate at some point, if you believe Betty's on the other side.
Frederick Fretland. Who are these traitors he refers to?
What now? We've looked everywhere.
There really doesn't seem to be anyone around.
Maybe we missed something. An important clue. How about the general store? We haven't been inside yet.
It looked deserted, but worth another look, I guess. Where are you?
Down in the village.
Alice?
I'm down in the village, Teddy.
Lissy?
I'm down in the village, Teddy.
Is that? Lissy, come here. It's Betty's hat. She was here. She could still be in there. Betty? Betty!
Are you sure, Edward? I mean, it's just a hat. Is it even a hat? I'm
I
not
know
sure
my sister's hat, Lissy. I have to get inside.
What about the breaking and entering part?
I could care less what they call it. I need to get inside. If Betty's in there...
Perhaps there's a back door. Or an open window.
Here's an open window.
You seem eager to break the law. I approve.
It won't budge.
Don't be a milquetoast.
Well, it's stuck.
Attaboy, Teddy. You can do this.
I can't believe I'm actually breaking... Whoops, Daisy.
Oh my, Teddy. You're such a sap.
Edward Charles Harding.
Dilettante, world traveler, cat burglar.
A cat burglar would, by definition, enter a building on a higher
Jeez.
floor.
The state of this place.
Oh, Betty.
Edward,
I hope you weren't here when...
is this... blood?
Not necessarily human blood.
Well, that's all right then. What does it say? Barn murder? Someone murdered a barn?
Barn means child. And mortar, that's...
Child murderer. Edward, they murdered a child?
Someone thought so.
Probably the same someone who vandalized the store.
I'm not sure how I feel about being in here.
Don't be ridiculous. We're all alone. What else do you suggest we do?
It really did a number on this place.
Why would they do this to one of their own?
Anger and fear trump civility.
It's been cut. Why?
To remove someone from the picture.
That's just rude.
It's from the opening of the mine in 1897. That's Frederick, Johan's brother.
And the boy could be the younger brother who died.
Frederick clearly did not want anything to do with his twin brother. It really did a number on this place.
Why would they do this to one of their own?
Anger and fear trump civility. Damnation. The hat's in here.
Calm down, old boy. Anyway, how's a hat going to help us?
Who knows what else is in here? There could be more clues.
All right. Okay. Everything's Jake. We made it into the store. I'm sure we'll find a way through that door.
The key must be here.
You know, you're better at finding things than me, Teddy Bear.
These were never sent.
How long have they been piling up?
I received Mrs. Fretland's letter in June, and they received my letter from July.
A couple of months. Perhaps the world forgot about Graavik.
Out of order.
Why hasn't it been fixed?
Perhaps there wasn't much demand for it anymore.
S-O-S. Oh boy. If only this thing worked. We could order a boat to come get us. Or, even better, order some hot grub.
The key must be here.
You know, you're better at finding things than me, Teddy Bear. What are you doing?
Looking for keys.
Your life of crime continues.
There's a note.
Is it written in Viking runes? What does it say?
It's from Simon. Casa. I don't know what that word means. Yai put it means I put. Knuckle is key.
He put the key in the casa?
Casa. I wish I had my dictionary. The note's addressed to his father.
So the key was moved. But where to?
Somewhere safer. Or more convenient.
Can we really trust your translations? You only started studying a month ago.
I spent the summer reading, and I had a lot of free time on the ocean voyage.
Come on, how much could you possibly pick up in a few months?
You know my mind, it's a sponge. The key's in the casa. Whatever that is.
Don't look at me.
Casa.
So that's what it means. Cash register.
The key's in the casa. Whatever that is.
Don't look at me. You're a genuine gangster now, old fruit. Don't worry. If you get busted, I'll come visit you in the big house. The Vandals weren't here for the money.
I think money was the last thing on their minds.
Wasn't there supposed to be a key?
Here it is. It is her hat.
Teddy, I'm not
Betty
sure
was
that's...
here, and not long ago.
Okay, but if that is her hat, what's it doing in a locked storeroom?
Another breadcrumb.
That's not an answer.
I know for sure she was here. That's what matters.
You know best, Edward. So, what now? If this is a breadcrumb, where's the next one?
There must be a reason her hat's in this room.
What's that?
A handwritten note.
I'm not blind. What does it say, you silly goose?
It's hard to read. I'm not sure my translation will be... Johann, you... Nectar. Refuse. You refuse to speak to me, so I write this letter instead. It's from Frederick Fretland to his brother. Simon did not... Bloody hell. Simon did not murder your Ruth. He was fond of his cousin.
Ruth. Ruth is the daughter of Anna and Johann, which means the little girl in the photograph at the farmhouse. Oh, Edward. The Fretland girl was murdered. This is simply awful.
Simon was working at the farm while I tended to the store. I would have seen him had he passed on the way up to the cliffs.
They thought Simon killed Ruth. His own cousin.
Ruth was... what's that word? Playing. Ruth was always playing on the rocks below the church. She must have fallen by accident. The note ends there. Frederick never finished it. And Johann never read it. Not that it would have made a difference. If Johann thought...
The mob showed up for Simon. His father would have tried to protect him.
September 17th. You would have been here, Betty.
Rocks below the church. Isn't the church right above us? Edward, come look at this. That's the cliff. Right there. The one in the note? I bet you 1,000,000 clams.
Where?
See for yourself.
I guess that could be where...
Let's check it out.
No, Lissy, wait. Where are you?
Right here. This way. I found it, Teddy. The cliff. I'm standing right below it.
What are you doing? This doesn't concern
A
us.
little girl died. We're staying in her home, for God's sake. Are you completely without heart? Get yourself up here, Edward Harden, right this minute.
Alice.
No need to shout.
Alice.
I'm right here.
Are you here, Lissy?
Yeah. Come on, it's an easy climb.
This looks very dangerous.
Oh, you're a big boy. Start acting like it. It's not Mount Everest.
I don't know about this. Whoops-a-daisy. Lissy, are you here?
Hello.
What is this?
Where little Ruth died.
You're being morbid. And this is a distraction. I'm here for Betty, not because some girl
Edward.
got herself...
You insensitive brute. You're like the Tin Woodman, no heart. You've grown cold and mean in that horrid study of yours. With only books and bugs to keep you company for years and years and years. There are other people in this world, you know. It's not all about you. You're going to do this. If not for Ruth, then for us. We're going to figure out what happened to the poor girl. Together.
I've seen all there is to see. I'm going back.
You can't leave. We might have missed something important. Where are you going? Teddy, where are you going?
Something struck this bush. She must have landed on it when... on her way down.
That's ghastly, Edward. Is that blood?
The girl could have hit her head on that rock. There would have been plenty of blood.
That's awful. I think there's something behind it. Can you move the rock aside?
That's been here a while.
Didn't you say it happened over a month ago?
You'd think her family would have replaced it with fresh flowers.
It must be Ruth's.
Where's the head?
Maybe the killer also decapitates dolls.
Hold on. This pin. This is old. Very old. Looks like something from the Viking era.
We are in the land of Vikings.
This could be 1,000 years old. It does not belong in a child's doll.
Who cares? Ruth is dead and you're obsessing about a rusty old pin? Let's go further up. Maybe we'll find more clues. Come on, old sport. It's not far.
Can you wait just 1 minute so that I can catch my breath? Huh? Did you follow the same path, Betty? Or am I just stumbling through darkness?
You here, Lissy?
What is it?
Lissy.
Yeah? You can see clear beyond the edge of the world. You're right. It is awfully chilly.
One
Oh,
second.
Teddy Bear. We need to take you out walking more often.
So, the girl fell from up here.
Was pushed, you mean? Can you see where she fell?
If she fell headfirst on that rock, she'd have died instantly.
Edward, honestly.
You wanted to learn more. This is you learning more. She hit her head and fell into the bush where I found her doll. Happy now, Alice?
I'm not. What was she doing up here in the first place?
Playing? She was a child. Children play in dangerous places.
There must be more to it. Let's find out where this path leads.
No, absolutely not. I don't have time for this nonsense. We're running out of daylight, and Betty's still... You're still out there. Lissy!
This way.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm over here.
Where are you?
Edward.
Lissy? Slow down. I can't keep up with you. Who knows what's up there? It's not worth the risk of falling and breaking something. Lissy? Are you there?
Can you see where Teddy,
My word. Look away, Lissy.
is this what happened to the villagers? They killed themselves?
It's one body. Let's not jump to conclusions.
What about those fresh graves at the church? There were at least half a dozen of them. Did everyone just die?
They're not necessarily
Oh,
connected.
come on. Ugh, this is just ghastly. What made him do this? How long has he been...
From the state of the body, perhaps a couple of weeks. Depends on temperature and humidity, of course.
What does that say?
God forgive me.
Don't suicides go to hell? Isn't that what your father said when
Stop.
your mother drowned
Don't.
herself? Sorry.
You shouldn't be here, Alice.
I've seen dead bodies before, and ghosts don't frighten me. I'm more concerned about you, given what your
Stop.
parents... You need me. I'm staying. Do you think this has something to do with Ruth? Maybe she came across the hanged man before she died, and it scared her. So she ran, and
This happened later.
there's some consolation in that, I guess. Maybe it's the killer. The guilt ate him up, and he offed himself.
That's just speculation with no basis in fact.
Who was he? One of the Fretlanders?
It's not Johann or Frederick. And he's too old to be Simon. There's nothing more to do here. I'm going back. Let the poor soul rest in peace.
Does it look like he's resting in peace? You're just going to leave him hanging? You're an insensitive brute.
I'm here for Betty. It's tragic, but really none of my concern.
Betty, always just Betty. You don't care about anyone else. What if that was me up there? Would you care then? All you do is obsess over a scarf and a hat and ugh.
It's all I have of Betty.
Betty, there she is again. Edward, the hanged man, he's someone. No matter what he did or didn't do, he deserves respect. Would you please just do this one decent deed? If not for me, then for yourself. Or for your Betty. What are you doing? You can't just pull him down by his legs. Try loosening the noose.
I can't reach that far. I'm going to be sick. I can't do this.
Yes, you can. Teddy. Edward. I know you can. You've been through much worse. Where are the Fretlands, Edward?
It's been 2 days. If they're not back tonight...
They're not coming back.
Perhaps they left after their daughter died.
Was murdered, you mean? Isn't that what we think happened? Penny for your thoughts?
She was probably murdered.
And you think Simon did it?
Your guess is as good as mine. It could have been an accident.
You're really not helping.
Can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm sorry.
You're exhausted.
I buried a corpse today, Alice.
I know. I'm sorry. Why don't you sleep in the guest bedroom?
The couch is fine. The Fretlands could still come home.
All right. Just don't come crying to me if you wake up with a crick in your neck. I'll be up for a while, if you feel like talking.
I really thought I'd find Betty today.
Well, I told you not to get your hopes up, Edward. I mean, we just got here. It's a big place. She could be anywhere.
It's just the thought of her alone out there. In the dark.
She's a tough cookie. Your Betty. Tougher than you, teddy bear.
That she is. I feel restless.
You should sleep.
I'm not sure I can. But yes, I'll try. In a bit.
What did you find?
Someone tried to burn this. It's addressed to Mrs. Fretland. My dearest Anna. It's from her sister, Margaret. Frederick's wife. The two brothers married sisters, remember?
Yes, and it's adorable. Keep reading.
I really shouldn't.
Really? How else are we going to figure out what happened? Keep reading.
My dearest Anna, I miss you so very, very much. The baby is due soon, and I wish for our family to reunite before... It's been 7 years since the dreadful incident at the mine. Can we not convince Frederick and Johann to forgive and forget? I know there are things Frederick has not told me about what they found and why they parted ways. Their grudge is tearing us all apart. Frederick won't even let me speak to half of our neighbors, accusing them of treason. He's so very angry and full of regrets. It's eating him up. And we...
And we what?
The rest is unreadable.
Margaret reached out to her sister, but I guess it didn't work.
This was written before Simon was born, but burned recently. I feel restless.
You should sleep.
I'm not sure I can. But yes, I'll try. In a bit. I feel restless.
You should sleep.
I'm not sure I can. But yes, I'll try. In a bit.
almost forgot putting this aside when I lit the fire. A Christmas present to Ruth. From Simon.
Simon! Simon gave that book to Ruth. But who burned it?
Johann or Anna, if they believed Simon killed her.
But they were friendly, right? Simon and Ruth. Before...
I imagine so. And we know the sisters were close.
I still don't understand why the brothers had a falling out.
Whatever drove a wedge between them, it was big. The two brothers married twin sisters, Anna and Margaret Taylor. That's the Graavik stave church behind them.
All those hopes and dreams, ground to dust by misfortune. Do you think Simon killed Ruth?
It's not important what I think.
I don't know what to believe. Sometimes children do monstrous things. It's almost painful to look at this photograph now. Their whole world fell apart. Ugh, I can't bear to think about it. Now that we know what happened to Ruth, this empty house is even spookier.
It's a house, nothing more.
You know better than most that souls can linger. Especially if they died
There's
in...
no such thing as a soul.
Life force. Ghost. Whatever. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The only ghosts are in our minds.
Says you.
These headlines make more sense now. Johann sells his share, and the cave-in occurs shortly thereafter, killing 3 people.
Including the younger brother.
The investor pulls out, leaving Frederick with the bills.
Oh, I feel awful for everyone. Losing a brother, losing the business.
There were no happy endings here.
You do look exhausted. Go to bed, Edward. I'll tuck you in. What are you doing?
Betty will want these back.
I don't think it's healthy.
Not now, please. I'm exhausted.
Quite the day, huh?
I'm ready to pass out. Where will you sleep?
I'll be up for a while. My mind's simply racing.
Don't stay up late. Wake me if you hear the Fretlins arriving.
Of course. And I'll keep my eyes open for any ghosts that might want to haunt you in your sleep.
There are no...
Hush now. Sleep.
Where are you?
Upstairs.
Where are you?
Right up the stairs, Teddy. Teddy? Is
Where are you?
In the bedroom.
This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look. There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be looking for Betty.
I hate you sometimes. Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle, Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine. It could be. But what did she find?
something important enough to draw.
What am I looking for?
Anything out of the ordinary. Something that could explain what happened to Ruth.
This is real life, not a whodunit by Agatha Christie. There won't be a convenient series of clues leading to a tidy conclusion.
Says you. That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear. She made her bed that morning. Before she...
Or her parents did. It doesn't matter. It tells us nothing.
Why are you like this today? Betty's not the only person in the world that matters.
She matters the most to me.
Ain't that the truth? Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
For Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew... It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out. What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. Well, they belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from, her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
If we're to believe her drawing, perhaps the mine. She may have found a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things. There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
She didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic events.
This is what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
The church bell. Someone's here. Maybe... Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We should be careful.
I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about all of this. Do you see anyone?
They must be inside the church. Are you coming?
In a minute. You go on ahead.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm in here.
Lissy?
I'm up at the farm.
Where are you, Lissy?
I'm up at the farm.
All these fresh graves. Do you think that maybe
No.
Betty...
I'd know.
But...
You wouldn't understand. Elizabeth and I, we have a bond.
God, Edward. Your obsession with her is really starting to grate.
Lissy, are you here?
Yeah?
No one's touched these since yesterday. Regardless of how they got past the wards, there's someone in there.
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through...
nature, not God.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Hello? I heard the bell.
Well, this is giving me
I'm
the
here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. I didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
I don't know about that. What's this rope for?
The bell.
This is the bell we heard ringing?
I don't see any other bells.
So you have to stand here and pull this rope to ring it.
Yes.
But there was no one here. You didn't see anyone, right?
No, no one.
Ghosts. I'm telling you, it's ghosts. So what happened to the hunchback of Graavik?
They must be here still. There's only the one exit.
Maybe it was the wind.
A church bell's too heavy. It can't have been the wind. I mean... I don't know. Maybe it was the wind. There's no one here. Lissy, look. Betty's gloves. They are definitely Betty's.
Oh,
She got these in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day she... She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make sense.
Breadcrumbs. She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves, her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a lab.
Betty will have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill. What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith was challenged, and it didn't survive.
What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
Here's something else. Many of you believe Graavik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune. It sounds like Graavik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Tilly Verandre.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly, but I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors, but the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us. That bell still bothers me.
Didn't you say it was the wind?
What are you doing? We're in a church.
Thought you didn't believe in God.
I do believe in civility. What a terrible mess.
First the store, then this. What was wrong with these people?
They were angry and afraid.
The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you.
I'm no closer to Betty than I was yesterday.
Maybe she never made it to Graavik.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course she's here. I found her scarf, her hat, and her gloves.
I guess.
The church book. A record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And, Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead...
Her name would be in the book.
Vandals. They tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. I don't like that sound. Please stop. Where are you going?
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger.
I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic. I've never seen you read the Bible before.
I've read the Bible many times. It's an important historical document. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Old English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes. Found another one. You get it. It's right here. Just one more page missing. Where are you going? We need to find all the pages. The missing pages must be here somewhere. We need to find all the pages. The missing pages must be here somewhere. Stop it.
Lissy?
Yes?
Are you here, Lissy?
What is it? Where are you going? We need to find all the pages. The final dinner.
The Last Supper. Who taught you about the New Testament?
I pick up on things. Most folks aren't heathens, like you.
It sounds like Graavik was split in two. Between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick. They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger.
Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic. Isn't this a fire hazard?
They're not always lit. Each candle represents a single prayer.
That's a lot of prayers.
There were a lot of deaths.
Two for two. A tie. Good job, Teddy.
Stop,
old bean.
Lissy. This is not a game. Betty's out there.
Of horse feathers. Stop being so gosh darn tedious, Edward. Biddy, biddy, biddy. Will you ever shut up about your precious Betty? Put those pages back in the book, and I'll stop trying to cheer you up.
This book goes back years. It lists births and deaths. Here's the third Fretland brother. The one who died in the cave-in. Someone added the word for Banelson, probably quite recently.
What does that mean again?
Curse. That word is all over this book. Not just the men who died in the mine, but other deaths in the last 20 years.
Ruth's drawing and the sermon both mentioned a curse. What do you think it means?
I don't know. There were surprisingly few births.
Perhaps they blame that on the curse as well.
Look here. Ruth Elsa Fretland. She was buried in the cemetery. And the next entry, Simon Fretland. Now this is interesting.
Simon is dead? Oh, that's dreadful.
He drowned the day after Ruth died. Probably no coincidence. See what's scribbled next to it?
Mord?
Murder.
Who killed him? Ruth's father? Or the mob that trashed the store?
It doesn't say. After the children, a half-dozen deaths in a single week.
The curse.
It's listed as the cause for every single death.
Maybe there really was a curse.
Primitive superstition. But something changed after Ruth and Simon. It might explain why there's no one around.
Edward, if it killed everyone, how's that not a curse? What does that word say? Next to those names at the bottom. For a
Traitor.
Edward? What's wrong?
The final entry. There's no name. Alice, what if...
Oh, Edward, no.
Betty,
It doesn't mean she's...
she's not dead. She can't be.
Teddy.
I need to see the grave for myself. It's not Betty. Betty's still alive.
Teddy? Where are you going? Don't leave me! Edward!
You better not be here, Betty. I'll never forgive you. Where is it? This one. It's unmarked.
What are you doing? Have you gone completely mad? Edward, stop it!
Betty. It's not her.
Oh, Edward. What have you done?
It's not Elizabeth. I was so afraid.
You're a monster.
But I had to be sure. If Betty...
To hell with your Betty! When did she ever shed a tear for you?
Don't talk about my baby sister like
Or
that.
what? Or what, Edward? What will you do? Ignore us? Banish us? You've spent your entire life chasing her. When are you going to do something useful with what's left of it?
Quiet! Just leave me be.
Fine.
Lizzie? Alice? Come back. Don't leave me alone. Please. Come back. I need you. Lizzie? Where are you? Lizzie? Alice? Alice! I was afraid you'd left me. Now listen to me. No! Come back to me. Lizzie, where are you? Hey. Lizzie, please listen to me. I didn't mean what I said.
Of course you meant it. Everything's always about Betty. Betty, Betty.
I care about you both.
Until it really matters. Then it's obvious who matters more.
I thought she was dead.
I wish she was!
Dumb.
You deserve to be alone.
Don't leave me. Lizzie? Where are you? Please, talk to me.
What's there to talk about?
You can't keep running away from me.
You think you own me? That you control me? That you get to decide how I feel and what I do every minute of every day? That I'm your puppet, your little plaything? Well, fuck you, Edward Charles Harden! I never should have come here with you on this pointless chase!
Now, be reasonable. Lizzie. No. What are you doing?
What I should have done years ago. Maybe now you'll learn to appreciate us.
Now listen to me. Please, listen. Hear me out. Don't do this. You can't do this to me. I need you. I'm not whole without you. I can't lose you. I can't live without you. Don't, please, don't, no. What? No! Oh, Alice. What have you done? Please, be all right. Please, don't.
You make me sick, Edward. Your mother and father would be ashamed. Elizabeth would be ashamed. They did not think you deserved their love, so they abandoned you.
Don't.
Oh, my child. We are all that you have, and we love you. We are here. With us, you are never alone. Do not forget.
No, Never. I never forget. I am never alone.
Wake up, Edward. Stop hiding. Without us, you are nothing. You cannot hide from us.
Where's Lissy?
Alice is not here.
Bring her back. Please. I need her.
Alice does not love Elizabeth like you do.
She loves me.
Not like I do, Edward.
I'm so tired. Please.
What do you want?
I think of you so often. You have no idea.
You just want me to forgive you so that we can keep looking for your precious, perfect Betty.
She needs us.
She never needed you, Teddy Bear. And she certainly doesn't need us.
I can't find her on my own.
Well, it's just too bad, my darling Edward. Because we're done playing second fiddle to little sis.
Wait, don't go. I'm talking to you, Lissy. Oh. Lissy? Lissy! Please. Listen. Lissy? You can't keep vanishing on me.
Try me.
Why are you so angry?
You do not know anger, Edward.
Did you ever meet my father?
Alice does not want to speak with you.
Then what about you? Are you going to help me?
God helps those who help themselves.
I don't need God's help. I need Lissy.
Do you, though? Did you ever?
What? Of course, Lissy, get back here. Alice? Please. Don't vanish on me. Where did you go? Lissy? Lissy! Alice? Don't go. Hear me out. I depend on you both.
You can never depend on other people, Edward.
I'm not sure you count as other people.
Everyone leaves, one way or another.
You don't. You can't.
Is that a challenge?
Stop playing games.
Are you ordering me, Teddy Bear?
I'm asking you.
Didn't your father always tell you to stand up for yourself? To be a real man and not a sissy? Maybe that's why he put the gun to his head and pulled the trigger. Kaboom! He was so disappointed about what his only son had turned into.
You're a monster.
Takes one to know one. Old fruit.
Lissy, get back here. Alice? Please. Don't vanish on me. I gave you this jacket. Betty, you were here. Lissy, I'm tired of chasing you. I'm trying to talk to you. Alice, be reasonable. Lissy, look. Her jacket. I'm sure it wasn't here yesterday, which means
Christ,
Betty was
Teddy.
here. Perhaps when we were out yesterday.
Betty,
she must have...
Betty.
You love Betty more than you love us. But don't you see? What has Betty done that we haven't? What can she do that we cannot? We've always been there for you. Why do you keep looking for her?
She's real. You're not.
So?
What? You decide what is real. We are real to you.
We'll never be the same.
She does not want you.
Who are you talking
Why
about?
do you think Betty left? She was sick and tired of us. She wanted to escape.
Like Mother.
Drowning herself because she couldn't stand being around us.
Like Father.
Bang! Right in the coconut.
Stop.
You drive them all away, Edward. All into death.
But not us. We're always here for you.
I beg you.
You are never alone.
Stop! Leave me alone, both of you!
You want to be alone?
You really want to be alone?
Fine. Be alone.
Good.
Lissy. Come back. Please. Don't leave me. I lied. I don't want you to leave me alone. I don't want to be alone. Please, Lissy. I need you. I can't do this on my own. I'm not whole without you. Please, please. Lissy. Lissy. Come back. Please. Don't leave me. Betty? Elizabeth? Is that you? Are you upstairs? Betty, I'm coming. I knew you were here. Betty? Betty! Are you in there? Open the door! I'm coming in! Stand away from the door! Betty? No! No, 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 no! Oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I thought it was you, Betty. But who? Anna. Were you here, Betty? It's from Johann, addressed to his wife. Did you notice the handwriting, Betty? He was clearly distraught. Knock ere knock. Enough is enough. After decades of strife, I pray that God will... Tilly, forgive me. I am tired of secrets. For 20 years I've kept my silence about our discovery, but my silence has only led to misfortune, and my cowardice has only led to death. I will make Frederick pay for what he has done to us, for what they have done to our Ruth. When it is over, I will let the ocean take me to you and Ruth. May God forgive me. Anna was already dead when he wrote this. He had no one else to confess to. What now, Betty? Johann went to confront his brother, probably at Frederick's farm. And then? Did you leave me another breadcrumb? You said this was a gift from another unlucky suitor. It was precious to you. You wouldn't have left it here unless... A signpost. A breadcrumb. I know you were here. You followed Johann to Frederick Fretland's farm, and then to the mine. You wouldn't let this go, Betty. You'd follow your story to the end. All the way to the end. Did you go to the mine, Betty? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Did you follow Johann to the farm? So where is Frederick's farm? The gate. Frederick's warning. The path leads to his farm. The farm is on the way to the mine, isn't that so, Betty? Are you still at the farm? Or did you go all the way to the mine? I need to see what you saw. Follow your story. The red thread you left for me. I'm on my way, Betty. What led you to this place? All these fragments. You'd piece them together into a story, wouldn't you, Betty? So, what do we know? Johann and Frederick are partners, and on good terms.
Something happens in the mine. Disagreements lead to a falling out. And at the end of it all, 20 years later, Johann walks this path to confront Frederick. Was this your doing, Johann? Did you burn your brother's farm to the ground? And where were you, Betty? Did you witness their fall?
Betty? Betty? Are you here, Betty? Betty!
Simon's grave. Born December 5th, 1909, died September 17th, 1923. The safe. Frederick would choose numbers that meant something to him. Why bury Simon here and not at the cemetery? If the village blamed him for Ruth's death, I could really use your imagination, Betty. You'd figured this out in no time. What do you reckon, Betty? Let's try Simon's birthday. Another Viking artifact, Betty. Most likely from the same treasure Ruth found. Postmarked in Boston. That's a curious coincidence. Dear Frederick, I hope this letter, it's in English, Betty. Hope this letter finds you and the boy in good health. We're concerned about you both. No word from you for almost 2 years now. All of us still heartbroken about Margaret's passing. We know things have been difficult for you and Simon. Mr. Fretland, we expect you to take care of this problem. If the discovery is made public, the authorities will intervene and the mine will be shut down. Should this happen, we will consider it a breach of our contract, and we will withdraw our investment. You and your brother will be responsible for all debts and losses. Johann must be convinced to wall up the chamber. We have already dealt with the worker who made the discovery. The Fretland Mining Company. I wonder what this unlocks. went to the mine. I hope our guardian angel watched over you. You're at the mine, aren't you? All right, Betty. So what happens next in your story? Johann and Frederick discover something in the mine. A cave or chamber of archaeological value. They argue about what to do. If the discovery is made public, it's the end of their enterprise. Johann is convinced, or paid, to walk away. Their secret stays hidden. Then, a few months later, the accident. 3 men die. The investors pull out. The mine shuts down. Frederick's up to his neck in debt. So, 20 years pass. The Fretland feud tears the village apart, setting neighbor against neighbor. And then, Ruth stumbles across the secret in the mine. After all this time, the truth may finally come to light, but she dies. And the day after, Simon is murdered. It's a catalyst. Old grievances resurface. No matter who you stand with, you're a traitor. Things escalate. More people die. From disease, despair, suicides, murder. Because of the mine. Because of what they found there. And what they covered up. There was no one to stop it, Betty. They were alone. That's the real curse of Graavik. Isolation. This place is cursed. Ridiculous. Did you come here to tell their stories? You were always braver than me. Always curious. Always pushing the boundaries. Ruth was here the day she fell. Something spooked her, and then she ran all the way to the cliff where... Do you know what happened, Betty? Did you witness it?
Hello? Betty, are you in there? Please answer me. Betty? Hello? Betty, are you here? Betty! Call out if you can hear me. Oh, Betty. This is Mother's brooch. You always wore this. You wouldn't take it off unless... You left it here for a reason. What am I not seeing? Betty? Elizabeth? Is that...
Edward?
I'm here, Betty!
Where are
It's
you?
Edward! I'm on my way, Betty. Wait for me. I can hear you. Hold on, I'm almost there. Stay put, Betty. I'm coming for you. Stay where you are. I'm coming. Betty? Betty!
Where are you?
I'm on my way. Elizabeth?
Edward! Edward, please! Hurry!
I'm coming, Betty. I'm on my way.
Edward!
I'm almost there. Don't move. I'm coming for you. I'm here, Betty. It's Edward. It's me. I can hear you. Hold on. I'm almost there. Stay put, Betty. I'm coming for you. Just stay put. Betty? Betty!
Edward, hurry!
Elizabeth?
Edward, where are you?
I'm on my way.
Edward, hurry!
I'm coming.
Edward, is that you? I'm in here.
Thank God. Thank God. You're here. You're inside the house. Elizabeth. There you are. Finally. You have no idea how long I've been looking for you. You had me so worried. I... Look. Your brooch. Mother's brooch. You must have lost it at the mine. Let me put it on for you, Betty. I wouldn't want you to lose it again.
She's been dead for 30 years, Edward. Elizabeth was never here. But we didn't come for her. We came for Johann, and Anna, and Frederick, and Simon, and Ruth. We're here to tell their stories.
No. Elizabeth. She's here.
You know Betty died when she was a baby. She drowned in the pond. And you found her. You were just 11. You carried her to your mother. And your mother...
She hated you for that.
She could never forgive you for bringing her baby to her. And you could never forgive yourself for what she did after. You always forget this. Because you don't want to be alone. So you bring Betty back. Again and again. To New York. To Boston. To the house. But always just out of reach. Never quite there. The scent of her. The echo of her. But never really her. All it does is make you lonelier. But the thing is, Edward, you're never alone.
You have us.
And you'll always have us. Betty's... She was never there for you. She couldn't be. You can't lose us. We're a part of you.
Forever. And ever. And ever.
But you need to let Betty go now. There's not room for all of us in there.
I couldn't save you, Elizabeth. I'm so sorry. It is as painful to wake from a vision as it is to be born anew. Goodbye, Betty.
Lissy?
No need to shout.
Alice?
I'm right outside. Teddy bear? Are you up? Come outside.
Beautiful day. Had your noodle juice yet?
I might be weaned off this stuff.
Boo. Don't lose your taste for tea, old fruit. It keeps you human. We have unfinished business.
We do?
The final piece of the puzzle.
Ruth.
Come on. Let's go back to where it started. We have an appointment with a ghost.
Alice?
What is it?
No, it's nothing. Lissy,
What?
forget it.
Such an amazing view, isn't it? And the air. Ugh. Why did we come here, Teddy?
To Graavik? Well... The letter to Frederick.
The one you found in his safe. From Boston.
I may have overheard a conversation somewhere, paid it no attention, but the name stuck. And Betty... And I spun a story around it that put us on this path.
Do you really believe that? I mean, how often are you around people?
Some places have gravity.
What are you saying? Gravewick's gravity pulled us across the Atlantic Ocean?
Graavik. No, I'm not saying that. That's irrational.
But you believe it, don't you? That we were summoned to tell their story.
To find my sister.
But Betty's not. She was never here. It doesn't make sense.
I'm a man of science. I don't know what to believe.
And yet, here we are. All three of us.
Is this what you wanted to show me?
I wanted to be close to her. Do you believe in ghosts, Edward?
You know I don't.
Well, you've been chasing one for years.
That's different.
What about me? Us.
You're not ghosts, you're alive.
Fair enough. So what really happened to Ruth?
She was probably murdered.
By Simon?
No, I don't believe it was Simon.
Then who? Frederick? The hanged man? Someone else?
Does it matter?
Maybe not. So she ran from the mine. And she came here. And then someone pushed her? If only she had wings. Like a bluebird. She could have soared away on autumn winds. But why was she killed?
Because of what she found.
Someone wanted the treasure. Or wanted to make sure no one else would find it. So instead, they cursed this place. And the curse killed everyone. Including the murderer. I hope she's at peace. And with God. Do you think that's where everyone's gone?
They're dead. I don't believe there's anything more to it than that. But there's comfort in oblivion, and we won't be alone. We'll never know what happened to everyone in Graavik.
We tried our best. We'll remember them. All of them. Maybe that will give them some peace in oblivion. Could this be your book, Edward? The one you've been wanting to write? A story about people who are isolated, left behind by the world. You can give them all a proper ending, with no annoying loose threads. Edward, is that...
Our boat? But how?
Who cares? Let's catch it before it sets out on another adventure.
I don't understand how this can be.
Maybe the current brought it back.
It must have been the wind.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, teddy bear. Let's blouse, while the weather's still good.
I need my suitcase.
So get a wiggle on, old boy. I'm going to say my goodbyes to all the things. I don't think we'll be back. Meet you at the house.
My goodness. Righty-ho. No rush. We have all day. What a beautiful day. Huh, look at that. The ground's finally dried up. It really is lovely here. The wind and the ocean. You know, this house is starting to grow on me.
Come on, Teddy. Pack your things. I'll meet you by the boat.
Do you never sit still?
Don't be a wet blanket. Let's make like the wind and get out of here.
I almost wish we had more time to dig deeper into the history of Graavik.
You know, this house is starting to grow on me.
I almost wish we had more time to dig deeper into the history of Graavik.
You know, this house is starting to grow on me.
I think I'll miss this place. The air really is invigorating.
Come on, let's go. Row, Teddy, row. The water's still cold.
It's a fjord, Lissy, and it's almost winter.
There'll be snow when we get back to Hanover.
The house will be warm.
Are we going to be all right, Edward?
I think so.